Good evening and welcome to my thesis presentation. My name is Jenna, and in my thesis I use an LMS called Canvas to create an interactive space for my AP students to learn. I took best practice ideas from blended learning classrooms and flipped classrooms to make Canvas an active learning space and not just a place to store files. What is blended learning? Blended learning is face-to-face and online learning lessons set to their own pace with more opportunities to differentiate lessons. A flipped classroom is when you provide lectures and reading at home and do interactive and higher level thinking activities in class. This provides students greater access to higher level thinking since I can now help them, greater access to AP science practices. It increases authenticity of work since there is now nothing for them to copy when they go home. Notes take less time. Active learning is what we all do anyway. Active learning means to increase student engagement and interaction, using activities in small groups, individual activities, and paired activities. The question is, how do we use an online learning system, online learning management system, to create an active learning space? It's not as easy to do as live in a classroom. Firstly, what is an LMS? An LMS is a learning management system. You may have heard of Google Classroom, Blackboard, Schoology, or Canvas. LMS provide course enrollment, security, content management, file management, assessments like quizzes, training opportunities, and social learning tools such as discussion boards. Why do LMS sometimes get a bad rap? When you mention LMS to teachers, you may hear a big groan for the amount of work that it takes to set one of these up. Though it's true, some LMS get a bad rap in certain school districts because they're poor fits for students and teachers. There are language barriers. There's a lack of training or misuse by teachers. There's a lack of staff buy-in and uniformity, and technology access can make LMS challenging. So the first thing that I did is I created a literature review reviewing the strengths and challenges of implementing learning management systems in various countries, states, and classrooms. Then, when I was reflecting on how I would make my own LMS more useful, I chose different apps very, very specifically to help make my LMS an active learning space. First, I use Google Sheets to backwards plan my entire curriculum for AP. This includes how long each unit's going to take, what chapters they cover, and when the assignments are due. And then I started my Canvas site. This is the front end of my site, which looks really pretty. It has buttons, unit assignment access, test information, daily information that students would need. But on the back end, I had to go, backstage to set up all of the modules for every unit. This is not what students see. This is what I see to help me organize. So I input all the dates, point values, modules, assignments for the entire year through the back end. We call these modules. This is what students are not supposed to see. Inside of these modules, we have student learning objectives, assignments broken up into modules, due dates for every assignment, binder contents, and unit supplements such as lecture slides and videos. While I input all of these dates and assignments into the modules, the back end of my site, it also puts these assignments on a calendar which I can share to students, which will automatically be placed on their Google Calendar, and they will be more apt to keep track of what is due and what is not due. To make my site a more interactive learning space, I used a couple tools out of many. I'm going to show you a couple, but I have a lot more. This site is called Perusall, which is a social platform for reading and annotating. It uses AI rubrics to grade the quality of student annotations. I also use a green screen to record all of my lectures because it is well known that if a student records their own lectures in a flipped classroom learning environment, the students are more likely to buy in and the lectures will be higher quality. I put these into Edpuzzle, which provides checks for understanding for students that I can then see and grade them. Of course, I was not able to cover everything that I am including in this Canvas site, but if you have any questions about how I am doing this, please let me know, and thank you for listening.